podcast has to delve on real life issues. So last week I had a conversation with Dusted Chef. He highlighted to me something that I didn't know about because I've been in the private sector so much. But if you're comfortable talking about it, since you've worked in an institution like Crown Plaza, he informed me that there's a network. It's almost like a closed network of chefs that work in the big hotels. I guess of course mature because they've been in these positions for a long time, and they've guarded access to that space.
Yes.
What advice how can we break into that, or B, how could we reach out to them and say, hey, look, we're not coming for you. You guys are made men and made women. These are your positions, probably retirement positions, but what's to come next? The next generation. Any care to share any words about that?
So it's very true. Like I said, I worked in those spaces, and at times you can see that, a lot of the things that they do is very old school, and there's actually easier ways of doing things. And even if you try to suggest like, oh, okay, you could do this way, they're quick to be like, no, this is what we do here, And it's fair. Like I mentioned earlier, that if you go into someone's space and you're under them, you need to go with what they're doing. But I feel like it's not their fault, but maybe rather the actual place. They need to also keep helping the staff. So upscaling, taking them for training so that they see what's going on. There's new trends. So many things have changed. But the hotel industry, especially in Zim, it's not changing. It's still the same thing, and people don't get to have an experience. Because if you're going to a hotel, you're going for an experience, right? You don't want to feel like you're at home. So those are some of the things where the company or the hotel needs to invest in. But like I said, I've also approached a few hotels. They're not keen. So I've approached to be like, okay, can I come in and be a consultant? I'm not stealing, I'm not taking anyone, I'm just coming as a consultant and just, changing a few things and advising how to make their life easier as well. Because for example, if you're doing a production for 500 people, they shouldn't still be cutting, you know what I mean? There's a lot of machines.
Exactly.
Yes, and also it's just the well-being of your employee.
100%.
But they're not willing to spend that kind of money because to them it's not necessary, but it is very necessary.
So do you know what it is?
Yes.
Especially now. So, like I said, if you remember, I'd spoken about a big pool of unemployed chefs and students.
Yes.
So what happens is, from what I know and what I've heard from students who've worked in these hotels in Zimbabwe is, they'll get like a pool of 50 interns, pay them transport only, and then you'll have like 20 students in garde manger. So one student will cut cabbage all day, one student will peel carrots all day, and then they only pay it. So, as opposed to buying a piece of equipment that maybe costs 500 to $2,000.
Yes.
You see, okay, let's just pay interns, and then now you have 2 or 3 qualified chefs on the floor,
and then also have hand-on assistants,
and then have like 1,000 interns.
Yes.
So now what happens is it takes away from internship, because I can't go to an internship for a year, and all I do is I either sit or I'm washing cabbages for a whole semester.
Because you haven't learned anything. That's what you're doing. Yes.
So that's what it is. I'm also very careful as I trade here because we live in a jungle state. So I feel like I think we have NECCI.
Yes.
They're supposed to support the profession. It's called Catering Commission. Industry. So they supposedly
supposed to support us and
support and make sure they govern the minimum wage and govern that interns are not doing the jobs of actual chefs.
Yes.
But I've also heard from interns that I work with that a lot of restaurants are hiring interns over professionals, interns to do so as to
cheap labor,
the bottom line, profitability. But now what has happened now is when you do that, you compromise your quality of your product.
Yes.
So on a general consensus, apart from a few cool spots, the dining experience in Zimbabwe is going down.
It is down.
Or down, yes. So, yeah. I know it's probably not I'm not the only one to fight this battle, but what can we do to maybe revamp, bring creative dining experiences, or just up our game? Because when you go to South Africa, even Zambia, not even far, very close.
Yes. Out of this world experience.
I mean, for me, I'll give you an example. For me, it's a benefit because now almost every other night I'm cooking in people's homes because they're like, if you go out, it's burger, chicken,
yes,
nothing else. And we're being charge an arm and a leg for
Yes.
that. So anything that you feel like you can do to change, or you said, you know what, I'm just gonna stay in my lane. You know.
So I'm actually, I don't know if you saw my post a while back where I said I'm trying to get into the consultancy space.
Yes.
Because as much as I'm growing my brand, at the same time I'm so passionate about just rearranging spaces and, you know, getting the right stuff in there. So it's something that I'm working on. It's in the pipeline. I don't want to talk too much about it because someone will steal my idea.
Cool.
But basically I'm going to be going through to hotels and approaching them and giving them a package and working with certain chefs and individuals who work good for that space.
Yeah.
And link them up, because the other issue that I realize is that a lot of these hotels, they also say they don't know who would be good for the job. So basically, instead of them going through the process, I will go through the process with them to identify the individual that works best for that space.
Yes.
So
I mean, hospitality for your hotel or your restaurant, you should. I mean, financial companies have accounting firms that do their audits, all that. So it's almost like a...
Yes. And also just like, as well, a lot of hotels, they feel like they need to employ someone full-time, but what they forget is, I'm sure you know, like overseas and stuff, they actually employ a certain chef from a certain region for a specific time.
Yes.
To fulfill that period.
100%.
And that's why you find they change their menus around all the time, so that people don't just, you know, get
keep
bored.
It fun,
keep it exciting. So that's also another thing that I say they need to adopt.
Okay. All right. So thank you for those insights. I love it. I'm rooting for your project. And thank you for... I mean, I think we're all thinking this, but we just don't talk. You see what I mean?
Okay, I'm going to push the project. I'm going to push the...
I'm with you. If you ever need help, hands on. I'm always, as long as I'm free and you don't have to pay me. I like to be... Because I learn from you, learn from them as well. So, another thing now. So, food. We work with food from a caterer's perspective, from a chef's perspective. And like I said, we'll also be talking to nutritionists and so forth.
Yes.
Food plays a big role in our diets and health.
Yes.
Right? So in Zimbabwe, we have a high rate of diabetes. We also have a high rate of this thing they're calling acids. And what annoys me is we have organic food, such that we don't have sections in the supermarket where you say organic food, like if you lived abroad, where they'll say there's rest of food and then the organic section is like super expensive.
Yes.
Because they've imported that food from Africa. So we have all this organic food and having all these health issues. What can we do to, you know, because part of me thinks, yes, there's lazy diagnosis, because every other person I hear is acids.
Yes.
Like, do people really drink that much fizzy drink or soft drinks? So, I had a gig, or have a gig, without releasing too many details, where, and they were taken aback, because I told them, no, there's different chefs. The chefs who work in hospitals, the chefs who work in even catering firms, the chefs who work in restaurants, the chefs who do, you know, fancy stuff.
Yes.
So there's different kinds of chefs, and there's chefs who can focus on healthy eating. I think that is a very big gap in the market, for starters. And I really believe we can solve some of these dietary issues with eating, especially starting from a younger age, because I find, especially as Africans and even Zimbabweans, to focus on, we're not playing catch up. Like, we get to our 60s, we're looking very frail and old, getting hit by all these terminal disease, and we're playing catch up because that's as a result of bad diets all our lives.
All our lives, And now you're trying to catch up,
And then as opposed to people live abroad, you see someone who's 80 and they're like Sprite-free, 90, they're Sprite-full, and they don't have many issues. And that's dietary and of course being active. So any few words that you have about, you know, healthy eating, focus on that, chefs putting that out, and not necessarily getting it out of people's minds that it doesn't have to be expensive to eat healthy.
I think, he touched on a very important point, that they actually, a lot of clients, when I say to them, you know, because I have a lot of clients who message me and be like, we're looking for a chef to do this for my dad, he's sick with this, A, B, C, D. The moment you say, go see this chef who specializes with this, in their mind it's already expensive. But it's not. I don't know why there's this thing where people think it's actually expensive when it's not. So I think maybe, and another thing is, a lot of us, like in our space, caterers and chefs, we're all focusing on we're doing everything. And I think we also need to identify by ourselves who we are, because it's like, everyone's doing catering, everyone's a chef, everyone's like, it's a mix.
Exactly.
So there's not really where someone can pinpoint and say, okay, I'm going to
That's
this
it from us
person for
today.
this.
Thank
You
you.
can't really
Thank
refer,
you.
and that person pushes that brand.
Yeah.